Today's show is sponsored by Diane Kleins, an independent associate with Legal Shield, offering legal services starting at $29.95 and identity theft starting at $19.95 a month. They provide a will, living will, assist with moving violations, contract reviews, consultations, and more. For more information, contact Diane Kleins at 214-881-5225 or go to the website dskleins.ladiesofjustice.com.
Hey, and yes, you are listening to the intro podcast. It is your boy Tazz. I am excited to be able to come back to you guys to do these shows. I know it's been a long time since we have been able to successfully record and present a show, just due to situations, due to life, and due to health, and due to losing people. I had to take out some time and regather myself and resituate the vision for why I originally started doing this podcast, or why the platform was even created. Disclaimer, those of you who are just listening for the first time, or even those who have been listening but haven't been following me on social media, a lot of the words or things that I say may not sound regular like you guys are used to hearing, or the way that words are basically just supposed to be said. But those of you who follow me on social media know that I am going through a stage in my life right now where I am dealing with Bell's palsy, which is a sickness that I woke up about 2 months ago, and the left side of my face was inactive. And 2 months later, I'm still dealing with that. So a lot of words may not sound right. It's not just because I'm country, but just dealing with that. It's a situation. So yeah, I wanted to let you guys know that. Also, I know that you guys are used to this being a two-man show. Of course, for the longest, I had my co-host J.R. Full. Unfortunately, due to situations beyond our control, he is no longer with the company, with the brand, but we wish him the best in everything that he is doing with his clothing and just in life in general. So with that being said, let's just get on to the show, man. Let's talk about me for a minute. So everybody, like I said, if you are just starting to listen to the show, or you're just starting to follow on social media or whatever, I'm dealing with Bell's palsy. And the update is this: it sucks. As I stated before, Bell's palsy is a situation where, for me, the left side of my face, I woke up one morning and the left side of my face was just basically like, bye. And I heard the song, The Weeknd's I Can't Feel My Face When I'm With You. I wasn't with anybody, but I couldn't feel my face, and I still haven't been able to. I say it jokingly, but the serious part of this for me is not only did I have to deal with the Bell's palsy being set off, but also with the Bell's palsy came Ramsay Hunt syndrome, which was, for me, shingles broke out in my left ear also, causing my hearing to be affected. So not only am I dealing with the left side of my face, meaning my eye doesn't really close that much, my mouth, my tongue, but also my hearing has been affected. And for the longest, since I've been going through this, I've been wanting to do a show, because there's so much that has been going on that I wanted to talk about, but just due to the way things sound, I've been hesitant, because I didn't want to present something that you guys were not used to, or present something that I would not be satisfied doing just because it doesn't sound a certain way. But I had to get over that because I understand that life happens, and due to the doctors basically telling me we don't know exactly how long this is going to take for the recovery to come. I didn't want to continue to let that get on me, or let that set into my mind and cause me to miss out on number one, great stories, but number two, possibilities to do more things, um, just like we've been able to do since the creation of the intro podcast, or since Tazz Entertainment. So I wanted to just get back to what I get joy out of doing, which is, I guess it kind of leads into what the main discussion for the podcast, or the what would be the word, the well, let's just say for right now, the main topic, which would be cultivating positive mindsets. But we'll get into that a little bit later. But I want everyone who listens to this, I always I say this often, because sometimes we just need a reminder, or sometimes people just don't do it. Listen to your body. Don't ignore what you feel because you think it's something light. Because what you consider to be something light can literally be something that can change your whole entire life if you don't address it accordingly, which is where I am now. Just as before with other things that I've been dealing with health-wise, I, for the most part, probably, just thought, I could take something for allergies or allergic reaction or whatever, and I'll be good within the next 24 hours. But that wasn't the case in this situation. I got off work and I came home, I took medicine or whatever, laid down, and when I woke up, it didn't get any better. So I went to a hospital here in Dallas, and they misdiagnosed me to the T. They told me that it was something that it wasn't, and they gave me medicine. They gave me a prescription for something that was not doing anything for me. Not only that, they really didn't take their time to examine me to see what was possibly going on. So, because I knew that something wasn't right, I felt it. I went to another hospital that was closer to my home, and immediately whenever the doctor saw me, the doctor was like, okay, so what you're dealing with, sir, is called Bell's palsy. And I told them that I went to another hospital, and I was just basically misdiagnosed. And they were like, no, you need to go back to said hospital and tell them they need to fully examine you, because what you're dealing with, your face is basically shutting down. Whenever I looked at myself, it was as if I had just had a mini stroke, with the eye drooping, my mouth drooping. So I contacted the first hospital that misdiagnosed me, and I told them what was going on. And they were like, well, just come in, whatever, yada, yada, we'll see what's going on. So I went into urgent care, and urgent care turned into the emergency room. And immediately when I got to the emergency room, usually for this particular hospital, it takes forever to get to the back. Well, in this case, because they were able to see me then, I guess because I had already told them that they had misdiagnosed me. So that kind of put a fire under them to make them see me in a whole different type of way. So whenever I got there, they immediately took me to the back, and they was, doing what they had to do, just the preliminaries, just to get me right or whatever. And then they decided, they're like, well, Mr. Gilmore, we're going to put you in a 24-hour observation. After they done everything that they, I guess, felt like they were able to do or should have done to send me home. And whenever they put me in the 24-hour observation, my situation got worse, and it led to them basically putting me in the hospital. And I was in the hospital, I want to say, for almost a month. And in that course of time, like I said, I dealt with Bell's palsy. Um, I forgot the other one, and I said it earlier. Sam Hunt, Adam Hunt, something like that syndrome. So in that process, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I saw or I felt some things in myself that I had never felt or saw before. I called my auntie and I was like, I'm getting angry and I'm getting depressed and I'm being mean and mad for no reason at all. Because for me it was for no reason at all. But my auntie, she helped me understand. She was like, no, you have a reason to feel the way you feel. Because at 42 years old, you have been through some things health-wise. You had health scares, and now you're up against this health scare. So it's not that you don't have a reason to feel the way you feel, so feel it. And I say all that to say this, and I explain in a lot of previous podcasts, and I tell people all the time when I'm talking to people that are going through something, allow yourself to feel your feels. And whenever she gave me that, it's like she gave me permission to feel. Whenever she gave me permission to feel, not only was I able to channel that anger or channel that guilt or channel that fear into something else, I was able to deal with it and not necessarily let it go, but not let it take over me. And although even now I still have my moments where, because you don't know how to react to this until you deal with it. It's just like whenever somebody loses someone and they be like, oh, I understand how you feel, but you've never lost that particular person. No, you can't understand the reaction to what I'm going through or to what somebody in my situation is going through until you've been there. So I tell you guys, feel your feels. For me, my update is simple. I'm trying to do my best to make sure that I am following the doctor's orders the best that I can with the medicines, and just trying to do more to exercise the muscles or the nerves in my face so that hopefully they'll reactivate, because I need them to reactivate. It's put a damper on my singing. It's put a damper on my talking. It's put a damper on the ability to work and focus because of the medicines and things that they have me on. So I am encouraged. I've been telling people everywhere that I go, literally, that I feel like God is providing an audience, or he's building an audience of people who are seeing me where I am now with this sickness, illness, or whatever you may call it, so that whenever the audience gets to a certain level, he can do what he do, which is perform. I believe that somebody needs to know, or somebody needs to see, that God is able to heal from things or situations that most people haven't experienced or don't know the power of. So whenever people see me or people hear me now and then, they see me in the future for what God does for me, I believe that they will appreciate, or they will only be able to say that Troy, Tazz, or whatever you call me is where he is right now, because he's been telling us all this time that God was going to perform something. So I believe that in a minute, I don't know when the minute is, but in a minute, I believe that God is going to perform something. He's going to perform. He's going to flex his muscle. And he's going to heal and he's going to restore. But the thing is, when he heals and when he restores, it's going to be 10 times greater than what I lost. And I believe that. The voice was getting to that preachy voice. No. No. But I do believe that God is he's going to heal me. So I encourage anybody also who's listening to this, whatever your sickness or your ailment is in your body that's making you uncomfortable, hold fast to the fact that God is able and God will heal. God will restore. We just have to trust the process, and not only trust the process, we have to trust the processor and understand that He is in control of things that we will never understand. Let me say it again. He is in control of things that we may never understand, which is healings and things like what I'm going through now. God is in control of this. I wouldn't know how to handle this if I tried on my own. Because keep in mind, whenever I was in the hospital, I was getting angry and ready to give up and crying and everything else. Until somebody had to step in and say, excuse me, God is still God and He is still healing. So with that being said, feel your feels and know that God is in control. And don't believe me, just watch. God is about to perform in my life. But hey, let's get on into the show. You are listening to the Intro Podcast. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Tazz, and you're listening to the Intro Podcast. Hey, I want to know how you feel about the topics we are discussing. Do me a favor, call 240-560-8299. Again, that's 240-560-8299. Let us know how you feel about these topics. Your voice will be on the next episode of the Intro Podcast. Now, let's go. Hey, what's up, everybody? And we are back with the Intro Podcast. Let's get into it. So I was not looking forward to basically talking about this because it's one of the most touchiest topics or subjects or matters that's going on in social media right now. I am talking about the teacher who has now been fired for allowing his students to take his hair down or do his nails or whatever. I'm talking about Mr. I'm going to say it the way I see it. Jacques Lee on Instagram. He's a teacher. You just heard the video or the audio to the video, but if you're actually watching on YouTube, you'll probably see the video. I don't know if I'm going to post it or not, but of course, if you are on social media, you have heard this story. The teacher, like I said, he had been posting videos, and he allowed his students, I guess all female students, or from what the video showed, female students were able to do his nails and take down his hair because he had braids or whatever. As you guys heard in the videos, like students who aspired to be nail techs or who aspired to be hairstylists. So he decided that since this is something that you guys want to be whenever you guys get out of school, and 9 out of 10, they're already doing it anyway, because I don't care what hood you're in or whatever, wherever you're from, you will see young people who are tapping into who they want to be in the future, making money now. So 9 out of 10, these young ladies were already doing this outside of school, but the teacher, I guess, just wanted to invest time, as he explains, and allow them to do that to him. Again, his nails and his hair. And people there's been mixed emotions from both sides of the table, whether or not this should be acceptable because he's investing and he's doing something positive. If I scroll right down under the video on TikTok now, one of the comments, let me find it. Let's scroll down a little bit. From Nola J419 says, 1 minute it takes a village, then it's people shame and shake my head. Going down to the next one, I just read like 2 or 3. Bro, stop explaining yourself. If the parents and administrators are cool, then we should be cool. The last one, let's say Will said, guess he ain't supposed to play soccer with them either, huh? Then it says, keep up the work. Keep up the good work, man. Those who in the video also showed where he was outside playing soccer with some of the male students. I guess they have a soccer team where the students who aspired to be soccer players. He was doing that with them also, and it's so. And when I say that, it's amazing that students where he got fired not for playing soccer with the males outside, but he got fired because he allowed the young ladies to do his nails and take his hair down in class. Now, me personally, and again, this is my personal view, I didn't see anything wrong with this. When I first saw the video, my take on it was hearing him talk and knowing that the parents had signed letters, or the parents were in full knowledge of what was going on and was cool about it. For me, I was like, if the parents are cool with it, and it's not like you're hiding anything, because like he said, you have a camera that's pointing in my face, watching these young ladies do what they're doing, which was good to cover. Just because of a situation like this, where if something would have happened or something would have been said, he would have needed to be able to cover himself. So good that he had the video rolling. But I have heard so many different comments that super sexualized this entire situation. I heard one lady, she done a video on TikTok, and she was coming, she was like, oh, while they were doing his hair, he was feeling the young lady's breast up against his back and up against his arm, and he was loving every minute of it. And I'm thinking to myself, wow. Like, I understand whenever people go through some things in their own personal life, whenever they see something that triggers what they've been through, you reach, you think whatever you want to think. I personally don't think that while these young girls was doing his hair, that he had these things in his mind. But it's just amazing how we sexualize things that are not even partially supposed to be sexualized, whenever this man, clearly according to him, he's just investing in who they want to be and what they want to do. At the end of the day, though, he was fired and let go for this matter. And he was reading, he got back on Instagram, and he was reading letters from some of the students showing that, he really did have a connection, or he really do have a connection with these students. And I look at it like this. We have teachers who are teaching and are miserable, number one, because they're not making money. They're not able to make the money that they want to, so they're barely teaching. They're barely wanting to be around these students and help them and help develop them to be whatever it is that they want to be. So whenever we have a teacher who is going far and beyond that, me myself, I just consider that to be a highly commendable thing. And for us to sexualize it and make it seem like something that I don't believe he wanted that to be. But he lost his job. And whenever I watch him on social media where he's reading the letters from the students, and I see the emotions that he's dealing with now, it's just a shame that, number one, it's a shame that he even had to be the person to want to invest in the young ladies, because you have to think about this. What if no one else wanted to invest, or no one else did invest, and he just sat on the side and watched your best nail tech in the near future, or your best hairstylist, become nothing because no one believed in them enough to give them the time to at least get in the craft young? Because my thing is this: if you allow me to get into something when I'm young and I can learn up through the years, whenever I'm out of school, when I'm out of high school, when I'm out of college, when I'm out of trade school, or whatever they do, the knowledge of who I am about to become is so great because I've had the opportunity to learn along the way, work along the way, try along the way, and have people who believed in me to allow me to do that to them, whatever that is. For these young ladies, again, it was nail tech and hair. So I don't necessarily think so. I want to know, of course, you guys can voice your opinion. I want to know what you think about this. Was he wrong? I know we've had so many comments on social media, but I want to know personally here on the Intro Podcast, what do you think about what this teacher was doing? Was it positive? Should it have not been done? Did the school do right by firing him? Or should the school have given him a chance to voice his opinion even more, or just in general, just not fire the man? Golly. What do you guys think? I'm trying to pull up the information for you guys to call in. We now have a call in also for you guys who want to be heard, voicing your opinion on things that we are discussing here on the Intro Podcast. You can call in and you can leave your thoughts and views on this topic. You can call 240-560-8299. Again, 240-560-8299. Call in and let us know what you think about this topic. Was the teacher wrong for doing it? Was the school wrong for letting him go? Should we just be a little more understanding about the situation? It's your boy Tazz. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Hey, follow us on all social media under the Intro Podcast. So if you want to follow me personally for music or just to know what your boy is doing, follow me on all social media. I am Trevayne, Trevayne. Also, we go live on TikTok, so we definitely want you to follow us on TikTok. But go under my personal page. I am Trevayne. What's up, everybody? You are listening to the Intro Podcast. It's your boy Tazz. So, of course, I told you guys there are some topics or things that I have been wanting to talk about since they've been happening, but just due to life happening, I was not able to do it. But I have to talk about this. So, you guys know, first and foremost, I am not a sports fanatic as opposed to just knowing everything about any sport in particular. But I do like to talk about individuals who are in sports, who play, who basically have a story that goes across my timeline that's discuss worthy. And I want to talk about Timberwolves center Rudy Gobert missing game 2 for the birth of his son, and the reaction that some of these players or normal people had regarding him missing the game. This comes from NBA.com. The Minnesota Timberwolves were without their center, Rudy Gobert, for game 2 of the Western Conference semifinal series against the reigning NBA champion Denver Nuggets. Gobert was back in Minneapolis, where his fiance gave birth to the couple's first son. Any thoughts of him getting back to Denver in time for the spinoff? It just wasn't gonna happen. Let's go down a little bit more. It says the Wolves held Denver to an ugly shooting. Now let's go down, yada yada. Let's just go. So we understand he missed the game because of the birth of his first son. I was really, really taken back by the reaction that a lot of people had, the insensitivity that a lot of people had regarding him choosing to go be with his fiance while they had this child. It's beyond me, because you would think in a world, in a time now to where you don't really have a lot of good things being said about about fathers of children. You actually have a man who's saying, okay, I have sacrificed my whole entire life for this game. Because I do believe that whenever you play these sports, you already sacrificing a lot because you're although you're making money, you're missing family, you're missing a lot of things that the normal person would get to do, but because he decided to be here to witness the birth of his first son. Let me say it again, his first son. So many people had a problem with it, telling them that the baby wasn't going anywhere and he should have just been there, yada, 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 all this other stuff. I just feel like it's highly insensitive for people to, number one, put that kind of pressure on Rudy to tell him, regardless to the fact of this being your first, you can skip that just to go play a game. We understand that this is what he do for a living, but just as in any other job, whether it's playing in sports or hell, working at a Walmart, if you are in a situation where you are about to have your first child, that's something that you can never get back. You can never get back your first anything. And as a father, it's even more emotional because this is your first child. So I can understand and commend him for saying or being able to say, I'm gonna, just as I've been sacrificing everything for this game, I will sacrifice now the game to go be with my fiance so that I can be a part of the birth of this child. And like I said, so many players were basically trying to make it seem as if the birth of this baby was not that important to miss this game. Yes, it was an important game. Yes, they were playing a powerful team. But I just feel like in myself that if I was put in a situation to where I had to choose between the birth of a child and whatever it is I do, I wouldn't make the same decision. So for me, I take my hat off, and again, I salute Rudy Gobert for choosing to be a father, choosing to stand on his own feet and not worry about what the public would say, but even more, not worry about what team members or former team members or coaches or what anybody would say, because I know it's a lot of pressure whenever you have to think about how other people are going to feel about a decision that you make that's good for you, but not necessarily good for everybody else. So kudos. I want to know again, what do you guys think? Should he have, I know you guys have probably seen or discussed or whatever online about this, but I want to know what you guys think. Should he have stayed and played the game, or do you agree with the fact that he actually stepped out and he was a father and he was there to check on the birth of his child? Give us a call at 240-560-8299. Voice your opinion. You will be on the next episode of the Intro Podcast. We'll be right back right after this. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Tazz, and you're listening to the Intro Podcast. Hey, I want to know how you feel about the topics we are discussing. Do me a favor, call 240-560-8299. Again, that's 240-560-8299. Let us know how you feel about these topics. Your voice will be on the next episode of the Intro Podcast. Now, let's go. Hey, we are back with the Intro Podcast. Once again, I would like to thank you guys for being a part of today's show. Those of you who are listening, I just appreciate you guys for being here. It's been a while since we've been able to do these shows, but we are back and I'm excited. Thank you to all of our sponsors, all of those who are advertising now and who are going to advertise. I am excited. Today's main focus or today's build is ways to cultivate a positive mindset. With everything that's going on in the world or going on with our lives, or let me just talk about me personally. Um, I had to, with everything that I told you guys that I'm dealing with my health, I had to re-situate or re-strategize my thinking, because what I was dealing with, for me, if I can be as transparent and honest as possible, looked as if it was almost too much. Yes, I said it. It looked like it was almost too much for me to deal with. So I had to reset myself. So let's talk about some ways to cultivate positive mindsets. Number one, focus on your strength. As humans, we often tend to focus on our flaws, our shortcomings, and failures more than our strengths. We tend to be overly self-critical, and that can take a toll on our mental health and well-being. If we want to have a positive outlook on life, we need to shift our focus to what we're good at and what we enjoy doing. Focusing on strengths can help us build our self-confidence and self-esteem. It can also help us to identify our unique talents and abilities that we can use to achieve our goals and make meaningful contributions to the world. When we focus on our strengths, we feel more motivated, energized, and fulfilled. We are more likely to take on new challenges, learn new skills, and take risks that can lead to personal and professional growth. Of course, it is important. It's important to acknowledge our weaknesses and areas that we need improvement. However, we shouldn't let them define us or hold us back from pursuing our dreams. Instead, we can use our strengths to overcome our weaknesses and find creative solutions to problems. By embracing our strengths, we can create a more positive and fulfilling life for ourselves and those around us. Let's go back up to the top. As humans, we tend to focus on our flaws, our shortcomings, and failures more than our strengths. It's just a natural thing that we are our own worst critic. We can see ourselves, or we can know that we do so many things that are good, but sometimes the things that we're not strong at, or the things that we have failed at in the past, seem to be louder or seem to be bigger than the things that we know that we're good at. And what happens is we allow ourselves to fall in the, I tried this before and it didn't work. Or I don't know if I can do this. Or I don't know if I can do that. So we never allow ourselves to try new things because we're so focused on the things that failed. We're focused on failed relationships. So we never want to get back into a new relationship and love again. We focused on jobs that we lost that causes us, although it was a job that we lost, but it was a part of our passion because we lost that we don't want to ever try to get back into it. When it comes down to shortcomings, we have just enough to do this, but not enough to go further. So because we don't have enough to go further, we stop ourselves right where we are. We stop ourselves right at the point to where if we go one step further, greater is the reward. But because we focus on that shortcoming, we focus on that failure, we tend to just say, okay, this is the best I can get. This is the most I can do, which is just totally, absolutely not true. So number one, focusing on your strengths. What are you good at? What have you accomplished? Yes, there are a million things, or there are 1,000, 100 things that we have not accomplished. There are a lot of things that we probably did fail at. We do have a couple flaws, but what are we good at? What have we accomplished? What have we succeeded in that have even gotten us to a point to where we're now looking at something that's causing us to look at our failures? We have to be at a point to where we're doing something good now or something positive that's pushing us to go further. But whenever we are called to go further, It causes us sometimes to look at the reason or look at things that we've done before that is supposed to discourage us from wanting to go there. So focus on your strength. Focus on the thing that got you where you are so that you can get to where you want to get to. Number 2, practice gratitude. Let's go. Number two. Expressing gratitude is an essential aspect of leading and fulfilling a happy life. It involves more than just saying thank you to people who do nice things for us. It's about actively seeking out and acknowledging the positive aspect of lives and being grateful to them, even if they seem small or insignificant. One way to cultivate this skill is by keeping a gratitude journal or writing gratitude list every day. This practice can help us train our brains to recognize good things in our lives even during difficult times. Additionally, research has shown that regularly practicing gratitude can have a range of benefits, including improved mental health, greater optimism, and stronger relationships with others. By consciously focusing on the things that we are thankful for, we can cultivate a more positive perspective and a greater sense of well-being in our lives. Let me break it down. Practice gratitude. Let's go to the part that says, one way to cultivate this skill is by keeping a journal of things that you're grateful for every day. My gratitude every day, whenever I wake up, or even while I'm driving my car or whatever, or just around my crib. Gratitude for me is, God, thank you for the small things. Thank you for my home. Thank you for my car. Thank you for my computers. Thank you for my studio. Thank you for things like this, because it trains me, because whenever I didn't have what I'm thanking him for now, I had to thank him for something else. And whenever it kind of goes back to the first one. Whenever you practice gratitude and you're focusing on strength, you're focusing on things that you have accomplished, you can't help but to re-transform your mind, or to transform your mind into success. Because although, whenever we pray or whatever you do to ask whoever you serve or you worship for help, whatever, we talk about, I need this, I need this, I need this. But we also have to go to that being, for me is God and Jesus, to say thank you for what I already have. No, it's probably not the biggest. It's not what everybody else have. It's not what everybody else is driving or what everybody else is using to do whatever they're doing. But thank you for where I am now, because I know that where I am now, 6 months ago, I wasn't there. Thank you for my health, because 3 to 4 months ago, I know where I am now, although I'm not completely healed and restored. 3 months ago, I was 10 times worse. 3 months ago, you couldn't get me on a microphone to talk to you guys, to even do a podcast, because of the pain and the discomfort and the mental that I had to go through at that time, that made me want to give up, that made me want to throw in the towel, that made me want to say it's over. But the gratitude came in, that now I have the gratitude to say thank you for where I am, because I know where I used to be. And whenever I thank you for where I am now, my mental is this: I can't concentrate on where I was that wasn't positive or that wasn't conducive to my future. I have to make sure that I'm grateful for everything that I have. You have to make sure that you're grateful, and that you not only just say it to yourself, but you have to say it out loud, write it down. Because whenever you put it into the atmosphere, it does something for me whenever I verbalize something, when I say something out loud, rather than whenever I just keep it to myself and I say it in my mind. It's like it becomes more real when there's sound behind it. It becomes more real when I write it down because I see it plain in my face. I know some people may not be real biblical, but the Bible says to write the vision and make it plain upon tables. Stop it right there. Write it down. Make it plain. Make it real to you. Whether it's for whatever you would consider the smallest thing to the biggest thing, practice gratitude, because the more you are thankful, the more it gets into your mind. That cultivating that positive mindset, it comes with having gratitude. Let's keep on going down a little bit more. Focus on positive qualities. Ask yourself what makes you who you are. Are you strong, detail-oriented, resilient, or something else? Make a list of positive qualities. Reflecting on these can help you focus more easily on good things about yourself. That's simply said. That's plain. I don't even have to go into it, but I will. What are you good at? What have you been able to accomplish with your hands that have made you the success that you are today? What have you had to overcome to become who you are? Let me say it again. What have you become? What have you had to overcome to become? Because one thing that I've learned is I didn't know how strong I was in situations until I had to go through things that pushed me to have to be strong. So that's a positive quality for me. I know where I'm strong at now because of what I had to go through. Have you been in a situation where you literally had to just say, I'm not giving up? I'm not giving up. I'm gonna keep on going regardless to what I see. Have you had to be that person and you actually came out? Think about all of those positive things that you have accomplished in your life. And don't just think of it whenever you in a situation where you have to think about it. Think about this every day. Write it on your mirror. Make it a part of your daily affirmation. Think about those good qualities about you that sometimes other people won't even see them. Other people may not see that you're a good person. They may not see that you're strong. They may not see that you're resilient. They may not see that you're driven. They may not see that you're intelligent. But you have to think about these positive qualities about yourself for yourself, because if you have to wait for other people to come to you to tell you how good you are, you're going to be waiting for the rest of your life. Because one thing I know, one thing for sure, and two things for certain, expecting people to come to you to pat you on the back, to encourage you to do what you already know that you're doing, may never happen. And it's not even a bad thing. Sometimes people don't see it because, number one, certain people are not supposed to see it because they're not supposed to be a part of your life. And if the wrong person see your positive qualities, then they latch on to you, not because they see or they want you to succeed, more than the fact that they want you to succeed so that they can get something from you, get something out of you. So don't expect everybody to pat you on the back. The song says, sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Shout out to Donna Lawrence. Sometimes you have to encourage you and not expect anybody else to do it. Because again, once you get that in your mind, once you start feeling like you are all this, that, and the other, can't nobody tell you nothing else. Again, who are you? Are you strong, detail-oriented, resilient, smart, intelligent, beautiful? Whatever your positive is for you, think about that. Because again, we're trying to cultivate positive mindset. Let's go again. Let's go to some more. Practice self-compassion. Hey, follow us on all social media under the Intro Podcast. So if you want to follow me personally for music or just to know what your boy is doing, follow me on all social media. I am Trevayne, Trevayne. Also, hey, we go live on TikTok, so we definitely want you to follow us on TikTok. But go under my personal page. I am Trevayne. I got way too happy and I was just about to run right into it. As a matter of fact, I think I did it for the other one, but we'll keep it right there. But let's go to practice self-compassion. Our inner voice often tells us everything we are doing wrong, but it can sometimes forget to remind us about things we're doing right. That's why cultivating self-compassion can help improve our mindset. Practice self-compassion by taking a few moments to treat yourself kindly, careful, and gentle. I love this, and I can tie this into the next one. Practicing self-care. Part of developing a positive mindset might involve cultivating a belief that we are worth taking care of. We're allowed to have breaks to feel good, to engage in self-care. I would add, we are also allowed to feel our feels. By taking better care of ourselves, we might think about ourselves in a more positive way that help us improve and have more positive experiences. It's super, super important for us to see us. One of the most remarkable songs of my time that has come out has been by one of my favorite R&B artists. I call him Pastor Mary J. Blige. Wrote a song called "Good Morning, Gorgeous." Every single morning she said she woke up and she would say it to herself, and it became a song that caused people to feel a certain way about themselves. Because again, I said before, with the positive qualities, we can't expect other people to do this for us. Because we can't expect other people to love us or feel a certain way about us if we don't love and feel that way about ourselves. Let me say it again. We can't expect people to give us the attention or the compassion or the care if we can't give it to ourselves. So it's good to take ourselves out on dates. It's good to take ourselves out to eat or go to a movie or go get a manicure or a pedicure. Or it's good sometimes to take ourselves on a walk and just walk and talk to ourselves and encourage ourselves and be like, you did that. Look at what you have now in comparison to what you had a year or so ago, and look at your progression. Pat yourself on the back. We are allowed to love ourselves, because again, if we can't love ourselves, we don't know what to expect from people who we want to love us. Neither can we tell somebody what we want when we want to tell somebody we want love, because we don't do it for ourselves. It's okay. And for me, that's one of the most important things that's needed to have a positive mindset. Because in order to have a positive mindset, you have to have a certain level of love for yourself. Like I said before, earlier in the show, you have to allow yourself to feel your feels, whether it's a feel good or feel bad, or you want to cry, you want to be angry. It's important for us to be able to allow ourselves to do that. Self-compassion, we have to allow ourselves to feel that so that we can get those feelings and emotions out so that we can allow the right ones to come in. Self-care. You rather take yourself to the barbershop? You rather take yourself on a good trip? I remember at the top of me starting this company, I had an opportunity to travel to Vegas to cover, I want to say, either the NAACP Image Awards or something for BET, and I went by myself, and while I was there, I was on a bus or a train or something, going to an event or going to a mall, and I went on social media, and I typed onto social media, what was it? It was like, you could have been here, but yada yada, you would rather yada. No, and then I thought about it. I'm glad that I was there by myself, because I was able to do for me and not have to worry about doing for everybody else. Sometimes we have to just get selfish. Sometimes we have to say, yes, I love you. Yes, I care about you. But right now, the best thing for us to do is for me to do me just for a day or so. Give me a minute to where nothing else matters but me. Because I've been so tangled up in worrying about everybody else's happiness, worried about everybody else's business, everybody else's love life, everybody else's living arrangements, everybody else's whatever, to where now I just need a break to take care of me. Give me 24 hours to love on me. I promise you after 24 hours, I'll be back and you can have all what you was getting before, probably. Because what happens is in the process of us giving ourselves the self-compassion and the self-care, sometimes we are open to see that what we're doing for some people or for certain crowds, we really shouldn't do. And then we have to decide, will we continue to do that, or will we listen to that voice that tells us, okay, you don't need to do this for this person? Because whenever you step back and you look at the bigger picture and you look at how much you're doing for other people and what people are and what you're not getting in return, you have the opportunity to turn that completely off. Thing is, sometimes we get into the part of our hearts that say, I don't want to stop doing it because I want to make sure everybody's good, everybody's taken care of. I used to be that person. I used to be Captain Save-A-Ho until I realized that I was more of a crutch than I was a help. So yes, it's okay for you to have to let people go. Self-care, self-compassion, we need that. Allow yourself to do that for yourself. Let's go to the next one. We'll be right back. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Tazz, and you're listening to the Intro Podcast. Hey, I want to know how you feel about the topics we are discussing. Do me a favor, call 240-560-8299. Again, that's 240-560-8299. Let us know how you feel about these topics. Your voice will be on the next episode of the Intro Podcast. Now, let's go. So, that's enough for this episode of the Intro Podcast. I hope that something was said that you guys can agree with. I want to know what you guys think, though. I gave you guys the number before, but you can call in at any point in time and leave a message about whatever we are talking about so that we can play it on the next episode of the Intro Podcast. All you have to do is call 240-560-8299. Leave your comment and trust and believe you will be on the next episode of the Intro Podcast. But coming up on the next show, we are going to complete this. Again, we are talking about ways to cultivate positive mindsets. Today, we have went through focus on your strength, practice gratitude, focus on positive qualities, practice self-compassion, practice self-care. On the next episode, we will discuss shifting your attention, be more optimistic, try loving kindness meditation, set meaningful goals, and a whole lot more. So do me a favor, tap in to this particular episode of the Intro Podcast. We want to know what you guys think. I am excited to be back. I am excited to have you guys who are still listening. Do me a favor, if you are looking to advertise or promote your brand, your music, or whatever it is you do, join those who are already doing it on the Intro Podcast. You can send us an email to spotlightmedia.info@gmail.com, or you can call that number and just leave a message that you would want to find out information about advertising. We are now working with Afterpay, so if you can't pay the full price up front. For us, you can split your payment into 4, and we will make sure that your brand is represented to the fullest. I am excited to know that we are still able to reach people all across the world with our podcast. Do me a favor. Also, if you like good R&B music, patronize me on all music streaming platforms. I am Trevayne. That's I am Trevayne. Shout out to everybody who's doing what you're doing. We have the Essence Festival coming up in New Orleans really, really soon. Of course, we have the BET Awards coming up in July, and we have so much going on. I'm excited to be a part or to have a platform that is able to make sure that you are seen and that you are promoted. You can always, again, send us an email at spotlightmedia@gmail.info@gmail.com. Let us know what you feel about the shows, or better yet, don't send the email, call us and leave a message. Again, let me give you guys that number. I love the fact that we're doing this because I want your voice to be heard. Let us know what you think about the intro podcast. Call us at 240-560-8299. That is today's show. I am going to just start having a random co-host and a random guest until I find my next co-host for this show, who is going to continue to build this and travel with us and grow with us and make money with us and all the other good stuff. So if you want to be a random guest or a random co-host, let me know and we'll line it up for you. But I appreciate you guys for everything, just for supporting us. Keep me in your prayers as I am dealing with Bell's palsy in the recovery process. I want to continue to bring these shows to you guys. So I hope and I pray that God will keep my mind settled so that I can do that. Thank you guys once again. Love you guys much. It's your boy Tazz. You're listening to the Intro Podcast. Until next time, holla.